Tuesday, March 19th, 2024. It's 5:54 p.m. and I'm at my favorite spot behind the castle, sat at the base of a tree in front of the same open fields with the perfect views of the sunset. It's a lovely spring day, and in this moment I feel at peace. After my ethics class ended at 4:15, I hopped on my bike to go into town to get some more body wash, toothpaste, and to send my postcards, which I sent to Kaylee, Grandma, and Grandpa. Thursday, March 28th. Grandpa died on Monday. Grandma received my postcard later that day, which is crazy because I only sent it last week. August 15th, 2024. Leaving Abuelo that morning was horribly painful. We were in a rush, so I left the bathroom knowing my distress was visible, which I never choose to do. We hug, even with my big brown backpack on. Abuelo's neighbors are outside speaking to Dad. I wave to them and hop in the back of the van. Elise asks why we are crying. I am happy that I cry when saying goodbye to my abuelo, unlike my 6-year-old sister who is too young to understand the depth of the situation, or what we will all be leaving behind when boarding the plane. And unlike my dad and brother, who are seemingly emotionless. March 14th, 2024. I am failing to understand how sad it will be and how much of a breakdown I'm going to have when I have to leave the castle in April. Thank God I have Argentina to look forward to, and I do know that being home will be very comforting and nice. It's just the thought that this will not be my everyday reality. There really is nothing to complain about. Life is beautiful and fleeting, and I don't need to possess the beauty to experience it and appreciate it and feel the effects of it. I was thinking about this on the flight back from Barcelona. Over the beach and the ocean, then over snow-capped mountains, and over blankets of clouds, flying through heaven, and finally an extraordinary sunset. I was looking at all this beauty. In the past months I've been bombarded with such inexplicable, all-consuming beauty. It's the feeling that you could die after leaving Venice. Traveling so frequently in a short amount of time has been strange, because there is this role you have to fulfill of being an observer, a consumer. Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024. Amar says the question he's been asking lately is, how do we let life pass through us? And that's exactly what I'm wondering. Today I took some time and I went through a lot of areas of my room that I haven't looked through in a long time, sort of as an effort to organize, and I have some friends coming to stay with me in the coming weeks, so I really wanted to get some things squared away and try to organize. As we all know, it can be a multi-day, multi-week project sometimes to go through the things that you own, coming to terms with the different things that you've collected or have been gifted, and it can be a very not only physically draining but mentally and emotionally draining process. Today, nothing really crazy. I didn't find anything that crazy except under my bed. I found my soccer cleats, which I was looking for a few months ago. Bunch of old hairbrushes and random things that I have been wondering where they are but have not checked under my bed. And today I finally did and saw what I've been missing. I am someone who holds on to things, not only objects, but seasons, periods of life. I'm definitely sentimental and see the value in everything, sometimes to a fault, I would say. Today, what I really wanted to speak on and reminisce about are the items that I keep, even though they're either broken or things that in one way or another remind me of different times in my life or past moments that I can't get back. So I want to give every item I've set aside a little moment of commemoration because they deserve it. And just because something's broken doesn't mean it's no longer beautiful or no longer worthy of keeping or showing or speaking about. Object number 1. This is one that I acquired semi-recently. I'm unsure really if I want to keep them any longer. Basically, my family got a puppy in December of this year, of 2025. I have his baby teeth that fell out. It's funny because I hadn't planned on keeping them, but my mom asked if any of us would like them since she was gonna throw them out. And what do you know? They're so little. It's actually shocking because he's huge right now. He's like 11 months old and he's half poodle, half Old English sheepdog. I can't even believe that they're his. He was such a cute puppy. What I actually should do is put these in like a nicer case because they're just in like a plastic case, and if I really want to keep them, then I should give them a nice home. I could put them in a locket. This item is one that I acquired on a trip my senior year of high school with some teachers at my school who were hosting this trip abroad. I decided to go, although none of my friends were going or anyone that I knew. There was only one other girl on the trip and I got to know her quite well and I really liked her. Went to Berlin, Vienna, Budapest, and Prague. We also stopped at some smaller cities throughout these countries and we traveled by bus. One town that we stopped in the Czech Republic was a town called Karlovy Vary. Excuse my pronunciation because I don't really know how to pronounce Czech. So the town has these thermal springs of mineral water. They have these specific little cups that you fill up and you drink out of like a tiny little spout, similar to a teacup. It's a really fun process and also the water is supposed to be very healthy and good for you. I picked up this water drinking cup. It's really beautiful. It's light pink and just has an image of the town, and I really loved it and was happy to have it in my room. But one day, I don't really remember what happened, but I dropped it. It doesn't happen extremely often, but still often enough that I have several broken things. And it's a shame though because this was a really pretty keepsake. I was back in Prague this year again. I can get back there whenever and buy a new one. The next item I would like to speak about is this beautiful ring that I bought, last year in 2024. I bought this ring in Amsterdam in a thrift shop when I was studying abroad in the Netherlands. I wasn't studying specifically in Amsterdam, in a small town, because my college has a campus there, and it was such a wonderful time. I found this beautiful ring, which is a flower. It's sort of pinkish purplish. Lo and behold, I broke it. I want to say after I'd already gotten home. While the ring was only like €5. It was such a cool ring and it was such like a statement since it's sort of big. I could just throw it on whenever and I got lots of compliments on it. And it's just such a pretty ring. Yeah, the times I shared with this ring were great. On a more serious note, while I was still abroad, my grandfather passed away. It was near the end of my stay. I was asked whether I would like to fly home for his funeral or just stay and finish out my time, and I decided not to go to the funeral. I just really didn't want to add to the sadness. I was having such a nice time. I didn't want to cut it short and I didn't want to have to scramble with my finals and miss out on everything, but of course it was a very difficult decision. At the end of the day, I think it was the right choice for me because I think I was able to grieve almost in a healthier way, being alone and being occupied, because I think if I had been home it would have been almost too much. And I'm not quick to let people console me. This past week, my mom, my sister, brother, and I went over to my grandparents' house, and specifically it was for my brother to see if he wanted any of my grandpa's old ties or shirts, specifically his tie collection. He had many ties. I wasn't planning on taking any, but I don't own any ties myself, and some of his ties were really beautiful, nice patterns that I thought I would be able to work into my own wardrobe. So I don't even know how to tie a tie, but someone will teach me. I'll be able to come up with some fun outfits, which is always exciting. I like a challenge when it comes to fashion. There's literally no limits to fashion, and that's why I like it, and that's why I'm not afraid to mess around. I took the more artsy, more like abstract ties, and my brother took the more, plain or traditional or more manly, whatever, ties. I'm quite excited. And they still smell like him too. Okay, this is something that I broke really recently, like this week. I was so mad when I broke it that I started crying, as usual when I break things of this nature. I feel very tied to my jewelry. I had this beautiful bracelet. It was sort of like a bangle, but made out of, I'm not sure exactly what material this is. It was so beautiful, and I've been wearing it a lot recently. I don't even remember when I bought it, actually. It's such a staple, good piece of jewelry. I have so many little pieces of paper, tickets, receipts that I've somehow just collected. I guess it's always in the back of my head to keep these types of things. I guess I do it almost subconsciously, but I'm not complaining about it. I already have a journal and a diary, but I don't really put images or drawings or anything of that sort in my journals. Using all of these little random artifacts that I have from my travels and from fun little experiences in my life. It's so nice to be able to put them in my journal and make some sweet little pages. Like, I'll show you some of the things that I have. I have a ticket from the Tube in London. It says from Heathrow. I went to London while I was studying abroad. I have a ticket from the opera that I went to when I was in Amsterdam. It was called The Shell Trial, and it was a very fun opera. I mean, obviously it was very sad because it's about the company Shell and climate change. I'd never been to the opera before. This is a ticket from this year in Berlin. Me and two of my close friends went to Berlin and Prague for spring break in March of this year, so it wasn't really spring, it was like quite cold. Although we lucked out with weather in Berlin, actually. It was warm some days. Museum that we went to, I've been to Berlin 3 times now, and I love it. I would move there. We have this random bracelet thing that says under 21. I don't turn 21 till September 4th, so I do not remember for the life of me what show I'd gone to. This is also from Berlin, just a ticket. This is a movie ticket. I'm a film major, so from Bonjour Tristesse. I don't speak French either, so my bad. This is a ticket from, also when I was studying abroad, I went to Barcelona, metro ticket. And this is a ticket from the Museum of Communism from when I was in Prague. It's really interesting and sad. I have some boarding passes from going to Tenerife to visit my family there. This fortune cookie that says, cherish the memories you create with friends. Well, my aunt ordered me a pair of John Fluvogs for Christmas this year, and in the box it came with this almost catalog of other John Fluvog shoes, and I feel like it's just a fun pattern for me to cut up and put in my scrapbook also. This is also from when I was in Barcelona, but it's for the Ferrocarril. This is a ticket from NJ Transit to New York City. Don't remember what the heck this is from. If anyone knows, let me know. Clearly I went somewhere or did something. See, this is why you need to be writing things down. And I am a journaler, but sometimes I really fall off with my journal, and it makes me sad whenever I do because I'm not gonna remember these small details. The last item is this rose, which my boyfriend gifted to me a few days ago. I love flowers, and my middle name is Rose, so of course a rose is suitable. There's nothing like watching a flower die day by day. An argument against the idea that some people have that buying flowers is a waste of money or stupid or anti-productive because flowers die. To me, that seems very antithetical to life. To enjoy a flower's lifespan is to enjoy life itself, is to enjoy presence, is to enjoy the moment. What I want to hone in on by showing you all of my broken things and showing you these items that fill me with varying degrees of grief. While I am consumerist, and this is a haul of sorts, I despise the notion that we should keep around us or we should take care of things that are only functional or things that only lead to a certain outcome or a certain thing we would like to achieve or to have. Because to me, there is so much beauty in keeping around broken jewelry that I cannot wear, broken glass, in a non-hazardous way, is what I mean. Dead flowers, the shoes that my grandma gives me that are a size or two too big, used tickets, fallen teeth, clothes of a deceased family member. So much of what I own is thrifted or vintage or just passed down to me from my mom or my grandma or my aunt or my godmother. Most of my stuff is from them. I'm so much fonder of the things that I own that come from other people. And while some people might call me a hoarder, and while I could do some organizing in my room, I do hope to never lose touch with this delicate and patient appreciation of the things that I have held and owned and loved, and the things that have been held and owned and loved by others. There's never just sadness. There's also appreciation. There's also love. There's also hope, satisfaction, happiness. There's also pain. And they are the glue that allows me to paste these tickets to the pages of my journal and collect the pieces of my broken glass and not glue them together but put them back where I had had it before and not see it differently even though I cannot wear it or cannot be complimented for it or cannot use it